Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So in this video, I'm going to take you through creating your citations for your criticism. So in the first part, I'm going to do the Gale ebooks. The next, I will go through Bloom's. Third part, I will go through EBSCOhost, and then I'll just finish up by doing a general Gale citation. So if you're looking for something specific, check the different parts of the video. So in the Gale ebooks, when you're in the citation or the criticism section, each one of the authors will count as a different source. So if you need multiple sources, or if you're using multiple people for your critical analysis, you're going to need to import your source of different ways, or multiple times rather. So I am scrolling through to see how many there are, or at this point figuring out who I would want to use. So I'm going to use this Larry Rubin as one of my sources, and then I'll use the Rena Korb as another one. So I'm going to need to cite this twice. So up here at the top of the page, this should always follow you, there's a cite button that opens up the citation. You see where it says Noodle Tools. I'm going to select that. That will open up a new tab. You make sure your project is correct, and I hit Import References. In this case, I'm going to hit this twice because I want that citation in there twice. And now I'm going to my Noodle Tools account and refreshing the page. So I should see those two exact same citations in here. I'm going to select one of those and do Options, Edit. The database information can stay the same. That's not going to change. We need to adjust where it says chapter or section. So I need to grab, and I'm going to move my tab over so it's just next to it. We need to get the author information. So I'm going to copy and paste his name into the first and last name. If there's a middle name, please include the middle name. Do the drop down to author. And now I need to adjust the section title because we're not specifically looking at the whole thing or the short story itself. We will be using, X out of here. We will be using the title that he called this. So in this case, it's the Oats, Where Are You Going, Where Have You Been, in the quotes. So I'm going to replace that in here. And then the last thing I need to adjust is the page numbers. So remember, because this was physically a book first, it does have page numbers listed. It leads the page, so this article ends on 273 and it begins on 272. So I'm going to adjust that. And then I'm going to hit save because the book information can stay the same as well. So now you will see that Larry Rubin's name is the first part. I adjusted the title to reflect what he called his work originally, and then how it differs from the second one. So again, that one has a specific title that it was originally called. In some cases, such as Rena Korb, hers was written for short stories for students. So she doesn't have a specific title for her criticism. So in this case, I'm just going to call it criticism because that is what the whole section is called. So that's what I will be using. So again, I'm going to go back and do that Options Edit, go down to the chapter or section, and do her first and last name, change the section title to criticism, and then adjust the page numbers. So this one, 267's in here, but it starts on the page before, so I know it's 266. And it ends on 269. So I go back here. And I'm going to hit save. Oh, make sure you click the author, otherwise it won't let you, and then it will say that you need to change that. Okay, so now I have my Rena Korb and my Larry Rubin citations, and they reflect what they were called and where we got them. In Bloom's Literature, this one is similar. It has that little citation box. It does the same thing that you can export to Noodle Tools. It will open up that new tab, double check that your citations are correct or your project is correct, and you hit import references. Going to refresh the page. And in this case, it is the first one that appears. It will say that this was exported from a database. As you saw, I like that the way it does it, because you can go in and if something needs changed, it plugs everything in the correct box. In the next case, you will not see that. So if you use EBSCOhost, you will not have that option. If for some reason you would need to create your citation manually for Bloom's, all of the information you need is here, over on the right-hand side. Okay. In the case of EBSCOhost, this is one, at this point, they do not have an easy import method, so you will need to create this manually. So you need to figure out where your citation was originally published, and to do that, you will see the different icons to let you know what type of source it was originally. So in Noodle Tools, again, I'm just dragging it next to it for easy access. I'm going to do a new source. It's going to be a database because that's where we are currently looking at it. But this is where we need to decide what it originally was. So in my case, I'm going to use the first one, the book. So I'm going to select that book option. If it is a journal or academic journal, you would select journal. If it is a periodical, it might be a magazine or newspaper. If you need help figuring out what it is, please don't hesitate to reach out, and I will happily assist in that. Okay, so the name of the database is the Literary Reference Center Plus, or Literary Reference Center. The URL, you need to use this permalink URL, not the one up here. This one up here will not take me back to the right page, but this permalink will. So I'm going to copy that into my Noodle Tools. I don't need to worry about the DOI. The most recent date of access, you're just going to hit today. Okay, so that fills in the database information. Just like we did for citing your short story, your book, or your poem, I'm going to use the ISBN number that they give me to use to get the book information plugged in. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to hit import. I'm going to continue. So that gives me the name of the book. I'm going to do the drop down for chapter or section to fill out the rest of the information. So up here at the top, the author, I'm going to copy and paste that into my different parts. for make sure you do the drop down to author. For the title, it's going to be whatever is at the top. And then if it gives you page numbers, use them. In this case, it does. It's pages 1 to 8. And then I can hit save. So now I have my citation created for EBSCOhost. So had I tried doing the citation the cheating way or the shortcut way, the only reason it's cheating this time is because it's not correct. It is missing that date of access. So that's why it is not the right citation for what you need in your project. The last way is just with Gale, the nice, sweet, short and sweet. If you're using the Gale Literature Resource Center, you don't need to make any adjustments to this. It's just hitting that Cite button, hitting Noodle Tools, making sure your project is correct, and hitting Import once, and then just refreshing the page to make sure it shows up. So if you have any questions or need assistance, please let me know. But hopefully this video was able to help you out a little bit.